It's Wednesday night, right now at 6.
That's going to make an impact with the way we react.
The Central Washington Fentanyl Task Force is hoping to take a bite out of overdose deaths. Our Emily Goodell with the details. Plus,
we're working on how to be strategic and how to make sure that we can protect our community.
We've heard of the struggles in Franklin and Yakima County when it comes to public defenders. Tonight, Dan Hansen will discuss how Benton County is dealing with the issue. Also,
Hyundais, Kias, and Hondas continue to be our top stolen vehicles.
Free anti-theft devices thanks to one Tri-Cities Police Department where you can get one. And later, a local volleyball coach celebrating his 600th win of the season before he retires. And Stacy's here.
That's right, we're tracking rain showers tonight through the area and some mountain snow. Details coming up.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6 on your side.
Here we go on this 30th of October. Good evening, I'm Austin Breed. More than 300 people die every day from a drug overdose in the U.S. The death toll last year for Washington state alone, 3,500 people. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us the Central Washington Fentanyl Task Force is hoping to change that.
The task force has released its final report, issuing recommendations for how to address the crisis, not just at the state and federal level, but right here at home. 93 people died from a drug overdose in Yakima County last year, but first responders are still getting called out to overdoses every day.
It hits us particularly hard because we're a community that already has been known for a lot of illegal drug trafficking, right, and gang violence, and fentanyl is going to be tied very, very tight to that.
Yakima County Sheriff's deputies already equipped with naloxone, the opioid reversal drug, and involved in a local drug task force. But the report shows one weakness is data collection. The sheriff says that's why they're working on a process called OD mapping to track both fatal and non-fatal overdoses.
We've been all over the map with the data. Every agency doing its own thing, even recording incidents different. So not really having good data, but we're going to have it. And that's going to make an impact with the way we react.
The county using mental health and drug addiction sales tax dollars to invest in Safe Yakima Valley social training in schools.
The drugs that are coming onto the market now, it only takes one child, one slip up, one time thinking that they're going to give in to peer pressure, and that's the last time they leave the front door of their home.
The report says better intervention is needed for those already in crisis. County officials say they need state or federal funding to make that happen.
We need resources and the ability to create facilities that can holistically take care of people that are in crisis.
We'll have the full report from the Central Washington Fentanyl Task Force on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Emily, thank you for that. Turning to our weather, get the umbrellas and coats ready because many of us will see rain over the next few days. But where in our area will it stick around? First Alert Stacy Lee joining us with a first look at our forecast.
Thanks, Austin. Yeah, it is raining. We're already seeing those showers finally moving through the region, kind of is tapering out of Yakima, moving towards Tri-Cities. We'll continue to see showers throughout the evening. Here's what it looks like right now in Yakima, 42 degrees with some showers coming down. Winds are very, very light, and we're seeing some mountain fog, and we are seeing some fog developing in the valleys. Cle Elum down to 1 mile of visibility, and that will be the case on and off tonight and into tomorrow morning. So just be aware of that if you're traveling. We do have a winter weather advisory for the passes here. Snoqualmie looking at 2 to 3 inches through the next 48 hours, right at pass level. Pass level at White Pass on Highway 12. Again, 4 to 8 inches at pass level. The snow has already begun. So to recap, the rain starts tonight. We'll see some showers mainly in the late afternoon and evening for Halloween. So wet for the trick-or-treaters out there. Heavy mountain snow through Friday, and we'll be tracking that for you. Be looking for difficult travel on those passes, so make sure you're prepared for winter driving conditions over the next couple of days. I'll break it all down for you coming up. Austin?
New tonight, the Washington State Supreme Court is reviewing a proposal to significantly reduce the number of felony cases public defenders can handle. Benton County prosecuting attorney Eric Eisinger says it isn't just impacting the Tri-Cities region, it's statewide. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen joins us live in studio. Dan, there's a lot of moving parts to this story, but you're going to break it down for us. So what should people understand about the situation as of now?
Yeah, thanks, Austin. According to the state bar's new standards defense attorneys' caseloads will decrease by about a third, giving them more time to focus on cases. According to Eisinger, there just isn't enough attorneys in the Tri-Cities for this to work.
Nearly 90% of all of the attorneys licensed in the state of Washington are in Western Washington. Over 50% of the attorneys licensed in the state of Washington are in King County.
Earlier this year, the Washington State Bar Association made some changes pertaining to public defenders, specifically the amount of cases they can take. Currently, public defenders are allowed 150 case credits per year. If this rule change is allowed, the caseload will fall to 47, almost a third of what it is now.
We're working on how to be strategic and how to make sure that we can protect our community and maintain public safety and still accomplish all the goals of our office. And what I am concerned about is having fewer resources and less capacity to do that.
Eisinger says in a three-step process, limits to cases will happen starting next July. Eisinger says the Tri-Cities in both counties has fewer attorneys per capita than any area in the state. With 1.5 attorneys per 1,000 people, he says King County has 7.3 attorneys per 1,000 people. Eisinger says there are three main topics he's most concerned about: public safety, losing the public trust, and therapeutic courts.
Our ability to place defendants into our therapeutic courts depends on our ability to file those charges in the first place.
In a letter to the Washington Supreme Court, Eisinger says these changes cause other problems locally. He says the overall issue is not just having enough public defenders to make this proposed rule change work, but also attorneys on both sides of the aisle.
We have to kind of take an inventive approach to how we find those people and how we retain those people. Same thing with public defense attorneys. And public defense work, as you know, is really hard work. I mean, all of their clients generally don't want to be clients.
If you want to have your voice heard about the rule change, you don't have much time. The deadline to submit your comment is tomorrow, October 31st. And I'll have a link to where you can submit your comment on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com, by the end of the newscast. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now. Austin?
All right, Dan, thank you for that. Benton County has a new public defense director, Keith Johnson, who takes over for interim director Larry Ziegler. Johnson served as county administrator for Franklin County from the years 2015 to 2022. Before taking a job in Oklahoma, Johnson studied business at Boise State University. He will begin his new job starting in January of next year. Well, the Kennewick Police Department is now offering free anti-vehicle theft devices. Officers say vehicle thefts continue to be a problem impacting the Tri-Cities area. As of late, they tell us they have seen a rise in thefts, specifically in East Kennewick. At least 34 vehicles have been stolen or attempted to be stolen over the last 21 days. To receive the device, all you have to do is stop by the Kennewick Police Station on 6th Avenue and bring your license showing your Kennewick address.
Well, when we were at the height of our vehicle theft problem, which was back in January, February, where we were seeing upwards of 76 cars stolen in a 21-day period compared to the 34 that we're seeing right now. What we have seen recently is Hyundais, Kias, and Hondas continue to be our top stolen vehicles.
As of this morning, 50 devices were already handed out, so you better act fast because KPD only has about 100 left to give away. Now, if your ID does not show your current address, just bring a piece of mail showing you do live in Kennewick. A new store in the Tri-Cities trying to make local and organic the main priorities. The Tri-Cities Food Co-op opened its phase 1 today. With this, the Tri-Cities community can look forward to a reliable source of fresh, natural foods. Alan Schreiber, the chair for the Food Co-op's board of directors, says they recently bought out the remaining food from the growers at the farmers markets.
This past weekend was the last farmers markets in the Tri-Cities, and we went to those farmers markets and we said, whatever you have that you can't sell, we will buy. And so we went around and bought out as much as we could from local farmers, and we have it here.
Now, there's an emphasis on local at the Food Co-op, and if it's something that can't be grown here, the team makes sure it is organic. You can become a member of the Tri-Cities Food Co-op for $100 and get a 5% discount on every purchase, but you don't need to be a member to shop there. The co-op is located at 1420 Jadwin Avenue in Richland. Right now, the daily hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Time for local living. This year's Apple Valley News Now Restaurant Showdown winner has new unique decor items to add to its restaurant. The Prosser House was awarded their big accomplishment today. The chief and owner says he's been a part of the Prosser community for 4 years since he bought the restaurant. He says winning was a surprise to him, but a reflection of making a connection with each person who walks through his doors, one plate at a time.
For a lot of years, I worked in like large hotels, and it was gratifying, but you didn't really get to be with all of your guests and have that instant kind of interaction of either that they were very satisfied, or even sometimes if we have to make up for a mistake, you know, we're here every single day, we're able to have that, and that's it's just that's the biggest motivation of having a business like that.
Big congrats to him. The owner says he enjoys not only working and living, but being involved with the Prosser community and helping local sports teams along with fundraisers. Apple Valley News Now live at 6 is just getting started. Coming up, why the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is moving forward with a plan to remove the causeway to Bateman Island. Monique Ledesma standing by with a live report coming up. And as we leave you to break, a live picture from Richland. Look at that. We are below that 50-degree mark. Stacey Lee is tracking your full First Alert weather forecast because you're going to need a jacket and even an umbrella. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Deb Mangeras, and as a longtime CPA, I can assure you, Olympia needs to tighten its belt. That's why I'm running for the House of Representatives. I've been a Wapato resident and apple orchardist all my life, and I have been active for decades in my community, helping make this a better place to live. Now I want to represent you in Olympia, to bring common sense and hardworking values to the Capitol.
Join me November 5th in voting for Deb Mangeras.
Liberal Democrats Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas support even no questions asked late-term abortions. They oppose measures that would lower taxes, make gas cheaper, and let you take home more of your paycheck. They would make your streets less safe, raise your gas prices, and encourage your children to disrespect faith, family, and America. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Mixed Martial Arts is back at Legends Casino Hotel as Clinch FC 9 presents 2 sizzling championship fights. Saturday, November 2nd, Alan Welsh from Spokane battles Seattle's Jose Hernandez for the featherweight title, and Stephen Chang tangles with Michael Sear in the Clinch FC lightweight crown, plus a host of other exciting MMA bouts. Tickets start at just $40 and are available at Ticketmaster.com or the Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss championship MMA action live at Legends Casino Hotel in Toppenish, Saturday, November 2nd.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
It's painfully obvious that Jared Sessler's 30% national sales tax will drive up prices. Prices will go up 30% on groceries, gas, bills, and even houses. Inflation is bad enough. Just imagine paying 30% more. Sessler supports a massive 30% tax increase on everything you buy. You can't afford Jared Sessler, Mr. 30%. National Interest Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Thank you for making Apple Valley News Now's Good Morning Northwest and ABC's Good Morning America the most watched morning news on local TV.
Thank you so much.
What's new, what's now, and what's next? Plus first alert weather every 10 minutes. Wake up with Apple Valley News Now.
On your side.
27 years ago, I lived in these apartments. And for 27 years, I've seen streets go without repair. I've seen places like Columbia Fruit Packers lay off workers. Some of my neighbors have driven to Seattle for decent medical care. Because MAGA extremists like my opponent Deb care more about power and controlling women's bodies than getting results. I am ready to go to the west side because it's time to get results for the east side. I hope to earn your vote.
Josh Cobra, first alert weather on Good Morning Northwest from Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Back now at 6 with environmental news. The Army Corps of Engineers in the Walla Walla District is releasing its final report on the Yakima Delta Ecological Restoration Feasibility Study, and it's recommending that the causeway to Bateman Island be removed. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma reports why the causeway is suggested to be removed and what the timeline looks like.
The partnership study found the Bateman Island causeway blocks water flow south of the island, leading to warm water temperatures west of the island. The warm water provides ideal conditions for non-native fish to prey on out-migrating young salmon in the spring, and it makes it difficult for adult salmon to swim upstream in the summer.
The flow in the Columbia River will increase. I do think the benefits that don't get talked about as much as we probably should is there will be more opportunities for fishing by both tribal but also the public within this area.
Elevated water temperatures also encourage algae blooms and mosquitoes, both of which affect the water, says Yakima Nation tribal member and natural resource expert Phil Redagon. This is how removing the causways also helps the fish.
This is one of those projects that has been a problem. The causeway causes a thermal block that stops the ability for fish to out-migrate, as well as creates habitat that is really poor for salmon.
As for when this is all set to take place,
so we are, like I said, finishing the feasibility study. We're moving into design and implementation. And so that will begin early 2025, so just in a few months. As far as, as soon as we get and we have the funding, I'll put all the federal funding in place, and that can begin.
The study anticipates the design work to take about a year, leading to the construction to begin in 2026. Reporting in Kennewick, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, Monique, thank you for that. Once they remove the causeway, the only way people would be able to get to the island is either by swimming or by boat. New at 6 now, the city of Pasco announcing an update to the previously scheduled overnight closures on eastbound I-182 near the Broadmoor interchange. Due to equipment issues, officials say the nighttime closures have been extended through Thursday, October 31st. The work is also to complete the installation of a new sign bridge. Additional closures are still planned for next week to finalize the project. For updates on the work, head to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com.
From Apple Valley News Now, first alert weather with Stacy Lee.
And we'll start with our radar. It's starting to rain cats and dogs, or should we say goblins and ghouls tonight. There comes the rain, and we'll see it on and off throughout the night as it moves north and to the east this evening. Right now outside on our Yakima Federal Sky Cam, 49 degrees. We're tracking that rain here on Edison Avenue. Winds at 7 miles per hour. Our sunset today at 5:44. A little earlier up at White Pass, this is what it looked like. Very foggy when you get into those valleys and passes. Traction tires advised tonight as we do see snow coming down. And here's what we're looking at for winter weather advisories through the area. Again, the Cascades, the northern portion here in Washington State. We're looking at 8 to 20 inches above 4,000 feet with gusty winds at 40 miles an hour. So that's very active weather. Pass level like Snoqualmie could see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches and 4 to 8 inches at pass level across Highway 12. Up to 8 inches between 4,000 to 5,000 feet in the Cascades of Oregon. weekend, up to 16 inches above 5,000 feet. So that's the Mount Hood area. Here's that storm system moving through tomorrow. Another system rolling through in the afternoon. Going to bring active wet weather, especially in the evening in our area. Here's Futurecast for tonight. We see those rains continuing through 8. They should start to taper off and move up to Connell, Walla Walla by about 10 o'clock tonight. And then we just stay unsettled through the day. Here's some more snow showers just outside the Dalles in the southern portion, east slopes of the Cascades. We continue to see active weather into Thursday. And unfortunately, around trick-or-treating time is when you're going to continue to see active rain showers and snow through the east slopes of the Cascades and across I-90 just outside of Ellensburg, between Ellensburg and the top of the pass. So be prepared for winter driving conditions over the next couple of days. Here's our rain chances in Yakima. They'll drop way down as we get into Sunday, Monday. Tri-Cities also tapering off as we get into Sunday, Monday, but look for active wet weather in Walla Walla for the next several days. How much rain are we going to get? Well, anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches in the Cascades and the Blues. Kittitas, Yakima Valley looking at 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, about 1/4 inch to 3/4 here, and the foothills of the Blues 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch over the next couple of days. Here's the temperatures overnight, staying above the freezing level, except for Ellensburg, where we could see a rain-snow mix developing late tonight into the early morning hours about commute time. Also looking at some fog in the area. Tomorrow's daytime highs in the 50s. Most of the day you'll see those rain showers. Here's our trick-or-treating forecast for tomorrow. Rain developing through the area 4, 6, and 8 o'clock. Temperatures from the 40s to the 50s, eventually down in the 40s. So cool and wet for the trick-or-treaters out there. Here's that 7-day planning forecast. And don't forget, daylight savings coming up this weekend. You get an extra hour of sleep as we fall back 1 hour. Here's what it looks like in Yakima over the next several days. In Ellensburg, active weather with temperatures dropping at that freezing level. So any rain that does occur, we could see some slick roads through the area, especially along I-90. Walla Walla, also active weather staying above the freezing level. So that is good news for roadways there, but very wet over the next several days. And in Hermiston, wet weather with some temperatures dipping down Sunday into Monday. So yes, active wet weather, slick roads. Winter feels like it's coming.
Couple songs in my mind.
Yes.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh.
That rain song.
Right.
And then Sweet Dreams, or Eurythmics.
Right.
Here Comes the Rain Again. So
good job, Austin.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, coming up next on your news at 6, we've got a couple of recalls to tell you about. One that affects more than 1 million Dodge pickups. The other, an expansion on a baby powder recall. Back after this.
The last few years have been tough on Washington families who are facing record prices, and wages just haven't kept up. But it's been a great few years for Congressman Dan Newhouse. Since he first got elected in 2015, his net worth has climbed from $2 million to almost $19 million. How'd he do that? By trading stocks of corporations that he votes to give billions of taxpayer dollars. It's time to put an end to Congressman Dan Newhouse's stock market hot streak.
I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Initiative 2124. It's purposely misleading. So here's what you need to know. Independent analysts say if I-2124 passes, it will bankrupt our affordable long-term care benefit, leaving millions of Washingtonians with no options but private insurance that charges way too much and routinely denies coverage to millions with pre-existing conditions. Don't let it happen. Protect your long-term care benefits. Vote no on I-2124.
Vegas action is closer than you think. The fun is waiting for you at Nob Hill Casino. Come in and pull up a chair at your choice of blackjack, pai gow, heads up hold'em, or high card flush, and play with the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club to take your game to the next level and earn rewards for food, bowling, prizes, and cash. There's always a spot for you at Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Democrat candidate Maria Beltran led a liberal Seattle group that tried to defund police and allowed chaos and violence to take over the streets. Like Beltran, House candidates Anna Kennedy and Chelsea Demas oppose initiatives that would lower gas prices, end the capital income tax, and allow you to opt out of the expensive long-term care tax. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Weekday mornings on Apple Valley News Now.
I know what we're doing.
We're getting you ready. Oh, you're going to know first.
About the breaking news that affects you.
Plus, First Alert weather, helping you plan and keeping you safe.
And what happened overnight in the Northwest.
And across America.
That's how we do mornings.
So you're ready to take on the day.
Good morning, Northwest.
Good morning, Northwest.
And good morning, America.
Apple Valley News Now, Good Morning Northwest, and Good Morning America, the most watched morning news on local TV.
Now that's good.
Too many politicians are too busy fighting each other. But I just want to get things done to make people's lives better. I'm Maria Cantwell. I led a bipartisan initiative to bring computer chip manufacturing and other supply chains back to America, generating billions in private sector investment to make the chips that run our cars, our appliances, and even our farm equipment, creating jobs, boosting our competitiveness, and lowering costs. It's beginning to work. That's why I approve this message.
Back now with a consumer alert. We have two of them for you tonight. More than 1.2 million 1,500 pickup trucks are being recalled over stability issues. Chrysler says that the system that keeps the trucks from losing control in critical driving situations could fail. The recall impacts models from 2021 to 2025. According to Consumer Reports, an error in the ABS module may prevent the stability control from working. Chrysler dealerships will repair the issue for free. Owner notification letters will be sent out in December. And a major baby powder recall is growing. The FDA is expanding a recall of Dynacare brand baby powder. This is due to recent tests that indicate the possible risk of asbestos. The FDA says the recall is now affecting products in 35 states, up from just 12 states in September. The company says it has stopped the distribution of the products. All right, the news at 6:30 is coming up. The University of Washington has released a new report on the economic impact it has on the state. The numbers coming up when we return, plus weather.
And weather-wise, grab your rain gear. You're going to need it tonight. Plus, it's chilly. Grab a good coat as well.
ET and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra.
Two candidates with our border in crisis. Dan Newhouse votes for common sense border security. Jared Sessler recklessly wanted to defund the Border Patrol. Newhouse serves on a powerful committee that protects our dams and ag economy. Sessler backs taxes and fees to make food more expensive. That hurts our farmers and ranchers. And Sessler backs a 30% sales tax on everything. There's only one choice for Central Washington: Dan Newhouse.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
We're calling it November.
November.
Because we're all voting no on Initiative 2117.
No, I don't want funding cuts for our roads.
No, I don't want to increase the risk of wildfires.
No, I don't want to hurt small businesses like mine.
No, I don't want cuts to public transit.
No, I don't want to put our clean air at risk.
We all know the threats of 2117.
And we're all
voting no this November.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King uses those relationships to do things like fund a new swimming pool in Yakima's MLK Park and helped Heritage University in the Lower Valley grow. Curtis King helped Toppenish Astria Hospital keep their doors open. And he delivered funding for Pasco's Lewis Street project.
I'm Senator Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
It's time to secure your RV for fall camping from your destination store in Pasco. Broadmoor RV Superstore is jam-packed with new 2025 models with all new floor plans, and they're all priced to sell. Our professionals can help you choose your RV for fall camping and take advantage of the great deals so you can be ready for next spring. Family owned and operated since its inception. Broadmoor RV, the #1 travel trailer dealer in Washington State. Broadmoor RV, your destination store in Pasco.
Our business is changing lives through the power of work. I work out here to help customers with donations, greet them and thank them, and that's what I do. I got 2 Spirit Awards of recognitions. When I retire here, I will say goodbye to the store, and they will honor me probably, and might put a nice plaque on the wall that I worked for many years. I like it here. I'm in a better place at Goodwill. I really like the administration here, so that's excellent for me.
Goodwill, your Halloween headquarters.
The last few years have been tough on Washington families who are facing record prices, and wages just haven't kept up. But it's been a great few years for Congressman Dan Newhouse. Since he first got elected in 2015, his net worth has climbed from $2 million to almost $19 million. How'd he do that? By trading stocks of corporations that he votes to give billions of taxpayer dollars. It's time to put an end to Congressman Dan Newhouse's stock market hot streak.
I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Apple Valley News Now first alert weather means early warnings and accurate forecasts.
Most fall days are awesome, but on those days when wind, rain, or snow is coming, count on our team for the most accurate advanced warnings, right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, mobile, and social. Count on us to get it right.
Weatherproof your world with Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather.
First Alert Weather from Apple Valley News Now. On your side.
On your side.
Always on your side.
Right now on the region's only live and local news at 6:30 p.m., a Benton City family finally gets the keys to a big part of their American dream. Riley Fitzgerald standing by with a live report. Plus, a big honor for a Pasco volleyball coach, why he means so much to the community, especially the students. Your news begins now.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6:30 on your side.
Welcome back, everybody. Rain in the valleys, snow in the mountains.
That is accurate, yes. And we're even seeing a little bit of fog out there in some places tonight. Let's take a look at our active radar. There's those showers. They've begun. They've been going through the Yakima area earlier, moving into the Tri-Cities, Hermiston area, headed towards Walla Walla and Dayton tonight. So we'll continue to see active wet weather. Here's a live look outside on our Legends Casino Skycam. 49 degrees, and you can see the river out there. We can't see the showers, too dark there. Winds light at 7 miles per hour. Our sunset at 5:44. This is what I'm talking about. Fog. It's okay in Ellensburg and Yakima, but check it out. Between Ellensburg and Cle Elum, we're down to 0 miles of visibility. So that is the heavy fog settling in. And in those valleys, we could see that potentially through the night. We also have winter weather advisories. We're looking at 2 to 3 inches along Snoqualmie Pass at pass level, White Pass Highway 12 at pass level, 4 to 8. When you go in those upper elevations, a lot of snow falling there in the next 48 hours. Let's recap that rain starting tonight. We're going to see showers for our trick-or-treaters, unfortunately, most of the evening tomorrow. That heavy mountain snow continues through Friday. Could have some difficult travel across those mountain passes, so prepare for winter driving conditions. I'll break it all down for you coming up in my full forecast. Austin?
Well, Lisa Skeleton is dancing away. Thank you very much, Stacey. Now to a story that's making a big difference in our community, and it's a story we've been bringing you all year. First Story, a nonprofit here in the Northwest, has a program to help first-time homebuyers get a zero-down, zero-interest 30-year mortgage. Apple Valley News Now's Riley Fitzgerald live in studio with us tonight. She tells us the family has been eagerly awaiting the opportunity to go inside the house for the first time. Hey there, Riley.
Hi, Austin. In June, we were there as the first walls were put up at the Ide family's First Story home, and now the home has been completed. They got to move in to their newly built, again, zero down, zero interest home in Benton City. The family got the keys today and also had a very special announcement.
We're just excited for the future for us, Toby, and baby number 2.
Having a zero down, zero interest, 30-year mortgage, that's a life changer.
We weren't comfortable having another one until we moved into a bigger space and a bigger home. Our toddler alone fills up that half of a basement like that, you know, so another one, forget about it, you know.
With a family of nearly 4, Buck and Avonlea Ide are ready to get moving in. The house is in Benton City, a new build in the River North community by Hayden Homes. Even Hayden Watson, founder of Hayden Homes and First Story, celebrated, acknowledging the hard work put in by the crews who physically made it all possible.
Everybody that was out there today, all of our project managers, suppliers, salespeople, people that work in our back office, they donate their time, they donate their money, they ask our relationships to come help, and it's really hard work to come up with all the money to build a house like this. And so when they see the family, I think it makes it much easier.
And it was also just really neat to hear a little bit about the story that the family told, and just that they were so open and just willing to share part of their journey.
To get the opportunity, the couple had to go through a lot of steps, including getting a first-time homebuyer certificate. This whole experience is influencing them and also the people around them.
It's impacted our friends and family who have never had a first-story home to encourage them to get out of debt so they might have the opportunity to apply for a first-story home.
Avonlea included that the people around them can also see the hope that if they can do it, others can too. The family is ready to, well, as Buck says,
we're ready to kind of just sprawl out on the floor.
And the location also works out perfectly. Avonlea Ide says it's near friends, family, and church, which means the couple has already driven by, let's just say, they say too many occasions, maybe once or twice a week since the wall raising back in June. Austin, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Riley, thank you for that live report. Appreciate it. Other news tonight in Yakima, Rod's House in Yakima is struggling to come up with the funding they need to open their temporary young adult extreme winter weather shelter. The shelter typically operates between November and March and gives young adults 18 to 24 the chance to stay at a motel room overnight. The estimated cost this year, $50,000, but the nonprofit says their overall budget hit hard, with funding falling through and liability insurance rates tripling. They now have a permanent shelter, but beds are limited, and they still want to provide the temporary winter shelter.
Now, if that's not needed, we'll know, right? Next year, we just won't open it. But I don't want to take that risk. I don't want anybody to lose their lives just because we decided that it wasn't necessary.
You can donate online at rodshouse.org. They are also looking for donations of blankets and winter clothing. Turning to sports, a highly respected volleyball coach from Pasco is retiring after this season. Jim Steach started his coaching career at Pasco High School in 1985 and moved over to Chiawana High when it opened. The team says that last week they celebrated his and theirs 600th career win. Many current and former players say he is the best coach they have ever had, including this former volleyball star.
I spent 3 years playing under Coach Steach. My sister spent all 4 years playing varsity. We were greatly blessed by his talent and ability to coach us as young women. We just trusted each other, we respected each other, and we really knew each other inside and out. And it helped us be great volleyball players and individuals just out in the community.
Now, the coach was also celebrated last night at the last home game of the season before the playoffs begin. Well, the Seattle Kraken have had a frustrating last few weeks, losing their last 3 going into the game against the Montreal Canadiens. Well, the Kraken was released on Montreal as they took out their frustrations on the Habs scoring just seconds into the game. In fact, they scored on their first 2 shots. Montreal managed to score 2 goals on Seattle, but it was all Kraken as they win big 8-2. Tomorrow, our Dan Hansen will have a player profile on one of the Kraken players. So tune in tomorrow night to find out who. And coming up tomorrow night, it is Kraken time. They take on the Toronto Maple Leafs starting at 4 p.m. You will see that game right here on ABC's Apple Valley News Now. That means we won't have our regular 5 p.m. newscast, but we will air a special edition that will start after the game around 7. All right, still ahead on Apple Valley News Now at 6:30. New rules have been put in place that make taking to the skies a much more less stressful experience, we hope. Details when we come back. And prepare for the rain. Stacey's up next with your full First Alert weather forecast. Do stay with us. Be sure and vote. Mail-in ballots must be postmarked by 8 Tuesday night.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by Friends Maria Beltran. This week is Fantasy Suites. I'm hopeful I'm going to find somebody that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, and this ends with an engagement.
I'd fall for you.
My heart, it just has to let love in.
Can I see myself getting engaged? I just don't know.
I wonder if your feelings have faded.
I know she's not okay.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Get away from go.
You said, I know what true love is, and I don't feel that for you. This hurts.
Initiative 2124. It's purposely misleading. So here's what you need to know. Independent analysts say if I-2124 passes, it will bankrupt our affordable long-term care benefit, leaving millions of Washingtonians with no options but private insurance that charges way too much and routinely denies coverage to millions with pre-existing conditions. Don't let it happen. Protect your long-term care benefits. Vote no on I-2124.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Liberal Democrats Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas support even no questions asked late-term abortions. They oppose measures that would lower taxes, make gas cheaper, and let you take home more of your paycheck. They would make your streets less safe, raise your gas prices, and encourage your children to disrespect faith, family, and America. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Maria Cantwell knows prices are too high and we have to fight back. That's why she passed a law to take on big oil traders spiking gas prices, and why she's fighting grocery store mergers that would lead to higher food prices. Cantwell also took on drug companies and won, capping insulin for seniors at $35 a month and capping seniors' out-of-pocket expenses.
I'm Maria Cantwell, and I approve this message because I'll take on anyone to protect Northwest consumers.
Next DT from Universal Studios Hollywood. Halloween week rolls on with the talk co-host Amanda Kloots, plus Scream King Matthew Lillard. Oh! Next DT.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Turning to national headlines tonight, you know that sinking airport feeling. Your flight is majorly delayed or even canceled. Your travel plans may be a mess, but thanks to new federal rules that begin this week, at least your finances may take less of a hit. In our latest Consumer Watch, Emily Schmidt has more on the changes aimed at keeping you whole when your travel disruptions are less than ideal.
These new consumer protections are for every flyer who said the sky's the limit, then discovered you have to get there first.
They would cancel, delay, bump, and then it would start all over again.
The Federal Office of Aviation Consumer Protection says over the past 3 years, complaints made up 91% of consumer submissions. Delayed flights, canceled flights, and
there should be some kind of compensation for this.
Who pays for them?
This sets in place very firm rules about what passengers are owed in the event of long delays and cancellations.
Airlines must now automatically refund your money if your domestic flight is delayed 3 hours, 6 hours internationally, or your itinerary significantly changes. Credit card purchases need to be refunded in 7 business days, 20 calendar days for tickets purchased other ways. But there are limits.
Don't expect that if your flight is delayed by 4 hours and then you get on a flight that you're somehow going to be refunded. If you take that additional flight, if you end up being rebooked by the airline, then you are not entitled to a refund.
You can see how airlines stack up in their commitments to consumers at flightrights.gov. The Points Guy editor Clint Henderson says the next step may look to compensate consumers for delays.
I think passenger rights will be a big issue in the next administration to potentially continue or curtail the work of the current administration.
But for now, there's assurance that if your travels need a plan B, you have some federal regulatory backup. For Consumer Watch, I'm Emily Schmidt.
Industry lobby Airlines for America said in a statement that it supports the automatic refund rule and would be happy to accommodate customers with a refund if they don't want to rebook.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
And let's dive into that full forecast. We have a lot to break down, including these showers moving through the area. Pretty much everybody getting wet tonight. You'll see showers on and off, some of them tapering off around 10 or 11, depending on where you are. 49 degrees right now, our Dust Devil Skycam. I-182 moving along nicely, even with those rain showers. A little earlier, White Pass. This was right at the top of the resort. Lower elevation, look at all the snow. Traction Tires advised up there this evening, and you'll see that because we've got winter weather alerts going on. Winter weather advisories for the Cascades all the way down into Oregon. Winter storm watches in southern Oregon. You could see up to 16 inches. Think Mount Hood, the top of the volcano, up at the upper elevations across the Cascades in Washington, 8 to 20 inches, and winds gusting at 40 miles an hour. So very stormy as that first little part of the system moving through tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, the next one starts to move across the Cascades into our area. We're going to see rain showers all through the region and more heavy mountain snow. Let's time things out with Futurecast. We'll see those showers continuing tonight. That's 8 o'clock. By about 10, most of the Tri-City should be cleared out. We'll see rain from the Yakima Valley, Ellensburg into the Yakima Valley, and you'll continue to see showers here in the foothills of the Blues. Look at the snow. This is the southern portion, east slopes of the Cascades, and very active, unsettled weather as we continue. So lots of moving parts to this forecast, and you'll see continuing showers, hit or miss, through the area. So count on rain possibly and cooler temperatures for trick-or-treating, but there's going to be pockets where it clears up and the rain moves through, so you might get lucky. But here's your rain chances: 60% tomorrow, 90% Friday, decreasing into the weekend. Tri-Cities 30% tomorrow, 90% Friday, again decreasing as you get into Sunday, Monday, and lots of rain in the forecast. Look at that, 100% Friday for Walla Walla with slightly decreasing amounts, and lots of rain, pretty active, much needed rain showers from 1 inch to 1.5 inches in the mountain areas, and from 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch in the lower elevations. So a pretty good round of rain. Let's talk about those temps tonight. Below the freezing level, Yakima, Ellensburg. We're watching Ellensburg tonight and tomorrow morning. Possible rain mixed with snow right at commute time tomorrow morning. Also seeing some fog developing in those areas. Could see it down here in the lower valley. A little bit warmer as you get into the Columbia Basin and the foothills. Showers most of the day with mountain snow continuing tomorrow, 40s and 50s through the area. Let's take a look at our trick-or-treat forecast. There you go. You'll see temperatures in the 40s. Look for showers again, light and off with bouts of heavy rain at time, but you definitely want to bundle up. That's not a really warm night, so hopefully you've got some warm costumes. Here's a quick sneak peek at your 7-day planning forecast. Don't forget daylight savings. Temperatures staying in the 50s for the Tri-Cities for the next 7 days. Yakima will slide into the 40s on Friday, but we'll sneak back up into the lower 50s as we fall back Sunday there in Yakima. Ellensburg, active weather. Look for that rain mixed with snow overnight in the early morning hours as those temperatures drop down. It's possible there. Walla Walla also seeing lots of active weather with 100% chance of rain on Friday. You don't see 100% very often. Austin and in Hermiston, we're seeing lots of rain there as well. And don't forget, November 1st officially begins on Friday. Can you believe it? November.
And it makes sense why fire season is now over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we need this rain. It's a good start to start filling up our reservoirs once again.
All right. Thank you much. Still ahead on Apple Valley News Now at 6:30. It's Operation Best Friend. You don't want to miss it because we're talking to, well, we're going to see a beauty and she needs someone to love her forever. Stay with us.
The last few years have been tough on Washington families who are facing record prices, and wages just haven't kept up. But it's been a great few years for Congressman Dan Newhouse. Since he first got elected in 2015, his net worth has climbed from $2 million to almost $19 million. How'd he do that? By trading stocks of corporations that he votes to give billions of taxpayer dollars. It's time to put an end to Congressman Dan Newhouse's stock market hot streak.
I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Night Ranger, live in concert, playing all their hits, plus deep cuts from their catalog. Night Ranger, live. Friday, November 15th, 8 p.m., Legends Casino Hotel Toppenish. Tickets at Ticketmaster and Legends Gift Shop. Do not miss Night Ranger, live. Friday, November 15th, Legends Casino Hotel Toppenish.
Democrat candidate Maria Beltran led a liberal Seattle group that tried to defund police and allowed chaos and violence to take over the streets. Like Beltran, House candidates Anna Kennedy and Chelsea Demas oppose initiatives that would lower gas prices, end the capital income tax, and allow you to opt out of the expensive long-term care tax. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Looking for a new appliance but don't want to wait weeks for delivery? At Fred's Appliance, our Get It Today inventory makes sure you don't have to. Thanks to our fully stocked warehouses, we have a vast selection of appliances ready for you right now. From refrigerators to washing machines, ovens to dryers, you name it, we have it ready to go. No more waiting, no more delays. Just the appliance you need when you need it. Fred's Appliance. If we advertise it, we've got it. Visit any of our showrooms and get your new appliance today.
It's time to secure your RV for fall camping from your destination store in Pasco. Broadmoor RV Superstore is jam-packed with new 2025 models with all new floor plans, and they're all priced to sell. Our professionals can help you choose your RV for fall camping and take advantage of the great deals so you can be ready for next spring. Family owned and operated since its inception. Broadmoor RV, the #1 travel trailer dealer in Washington State. Broadmoor RV, your destination store in Pasco.
Too many politicians are too busy fighting each other, but I just want to get things done to make people's lives better. I'm Maria Cantwell. I led a bipartisan initiative to bring computer chip manufacturing and other supply chains back to America, generating billions in private sector investment to make the chips that run our cars, our appliances, and even our farm equipment, creating jobs, boosting our competitiveness, and lowering costs. It's beginning to work. That's why I approve this message.
Kraken, Leafs, 4 p.m. Thursday on Apple Valley News Now.
All right, time for Operation Best Friend. This week we are meeting Kendall.
And you'll like this week, girls. She's been at the shelter for 30 days and is an 8-year-old American Pit Bull Terrier. She was found wandering around our area, but let's see if she can wander her way into your heart. Come take a look.
My name is Hannah. I am from the Benton Franklin Humane Society, and today with me I have brought Kendall. Kendall is estimated to be about 8 years old, so she is a senior girl and she was found as a stray. She is an American Pit Bull Terrier, and when the Good Samaritan found her wandering around, she just hopped right into their car and she was ready to go home with them. They brought her to us where we put her on a stray hold to see if somebody would reach out to see if she belonged to anybody. After the stray hold, now she is available for adoption. Although she's been with us for about 30 days now, so about a month. She's been doing well in the shelter. She's a very sweet girl. Everybody has nothing but kind words to say about her. She does well on the leash. She has the most beautiful, kind eyes. Somebody described them as, when she looks up at you, she looks at you with the most soulful, beautiful eyes, which I thought was very beautiful to say about her. She is a bit of a couch potato. Every time we bring her out into one of our play yards, she just wants to hop right up onto the bench and hang out with you, get all the loves, get all the cuddles. She is definitely a snuggle bug for sure. We think that she would do best as a only pet, but if she went home with the right dog, with the right play style, we think that she would do great with other dogs as well. She is not much of a player because she is on the older side, so she would be looking for a home where she can spend the rest of her golden years with. She does know how to sit, kinda. Let's see if she can do it. Oh, good girl, very good. She's very gentle when she takes the treats. She's just overall very docile, calm, older lady who is looking to spend her forever home with somebody cuddled up on the couch. If you were interested in meeting Kendall, we are open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 through 4, or you can always send us an email and we would be happy to provide you with some more information.
And you know what? Us older gals, we got to stick together.
Old, give me a break.
So give your heart to Kendall.
No,
please.
she was super cute.
She was.
So yeah, give her that final home.
That's right.
So, to see more of Kendall and all of our other dogs featured on Operation Best Friend, just go to our website. Well, take a look at this, the final moments of the Halloween comet.
That's right. NASA's Solar and Heliospheric Observatory spacecraft captured these images as the comet disintegrated close to the sun early Monday morning. Astronomers first discovered the glowing celestial body on September 27th. Now, according to NASA, the comet broke apart over the past few days into chunks until it finally just evaporated. It earned the nickname Halloween Comet after speculation that it could be visible in the night sky at the end of the month. Pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah, just in time.
That's right.
All right, we will be right back with final weather.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years. 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by Friends Maria Beltran.
Hi, I'm Deb Mangeras, and as a longtime CPA, I can assure you, Olympia needs to tighten its belt. That's why I'm running for the House of Representatives. I've been a Wapato resident and apple orchardist all my life, and I have been active for decades in my community, helping make this a better place to live. Now I want to represent you in Olympia, to bring common sense and hardworking values to the Capitol.
Join me November 5th in voting for Deb Mangeras.
Vegas action is closer than you think. The fun is waiting for you at Nob Hill Casino. Come in and pull up a chair at your choice of blackjack, pai gow, heads up hold'em, or high card flush, and play with the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club to take your game to the next level and earn rewards for food, bowling, prizes, and cash. There's always a spot for you at Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
27 years ago, I lived in these apartments, and for 27 years, I've seen streets go without repair. I've seen places like Columbia Fruit Packers lay off workers. Some of my neighbors have driven to Seattle for decent medical care because MAGA extremists like my opponent Deb care more about power and controlling women's bodies than getting results. I am ready to go to the west side because it's time to get results for the east side. I hope to earn your vote.
For 17 years, Senator Curtis King has delivered for you. That's why the media calls Curtis King the Republican in Olympia most likely to pass a bill. Senator King helped fund the Sozo Soccer Complex, giving local youth and adult soccer players a world-class recreational facility. Curtis King helped Perry Tech expand, providing thousands of local students with real-world skills, and he delivered funding for dozens of local road projects.
I'm Senator Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
The last few years have been tough on Washington families who are facing record prices, and wages just haven't kept up. But it's been a great few years for Congressman Dan Newhouse. Since he first got elected in 2015, his net worth has climbed from $2 million to almost $19 million. How'd he do that? By trading stocks of corporations that he votes to give billions of taxpayer dollars. It's time to put an end to Congressman Dan Newhouse's stock market hot streak.
I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Aren't you just a spoonful of sugar?
Young Sheldon, tonight at 11:05, Apple Valley News Now.
And your viewer photo of the day. Stu Malloy sent this one in Richland with a colorful sunset. Look at those clouds. Very good. Nice photo, Stu. To get your photo on TV, QR code right side of your screen or applevalleyNewsNow.com. Let's take a look at the bottom line. We've got active showers through Friday in our area. Patchy fog, especially in those valleys and mountain areas, and mountain snow. It's the first big snow of the season. Anywhere from 8 to 20 inches, especially in those upper elevations going on, at least through Friday and possibly into the weekend.
Well, I'm taking the girls trick-or-treating tomorrow, so I will make sure we all have our coats.
And an umbrella.
And an umbrella, too. Have a great night, everybody. Hoping your news is good news.
See you back here at 11.